What are some of the best choices you've made in your life? When I was in kindergarten, if you did stuff well and didn't get in trouble, you earned points that you could buy a reward with. I saved mine up for a long time to get a mini gumball machine, but when I finally went to get it, I made a split-second decision to buy a glass rose that was another one of the prizes because I was about to visit my grandma and I wanted to give her something. Now every time I visit my grandma for years, I get a little warm feeling seeing that rose sitting carefully in her living room above the fireplace. This is so adorable. So many adults are still afraid to give up what they want, but don't need, for the benefit of someone else, but you discover the benefits of selflessness in kindergarten. That's awesome. This is so true. My wife has been encouraging us to give away something that we're closely attached to, which is hard but a necessary exercise in the longer run. Are the kids that bad? He said closely attached to. Oof. Losing weight. Skin got better, easier to find clothes, better social interactions, lesser judgmental comments. To piggyback on that, not getting winded running or climbing stairs, not feeling hot all the time, while being hotter all the time, pull-ups. Sitting on hard surfaces is uncomfortable now, though. You will feel the freezing cold like 2x harder too. I met this girl my first year in the Navy. She was Russian and in the US on a work visa. She was studying English and got to spend the summer in the US as a part of her university program. While she was here, she was working as a lifeguard for the apartment pool and I was swimming every day till I could pass a swim qual for a Navy school I was going to. After a few days of flirting and conversation, I find out she lived in apartment 101 and lived in 102 of the same building. She was the girl next door. She told me her dream was to get an American education, but unfortunately she would have to leave at the end of the summer. If you know anything about military pay, you get an extra allowance for housing if you're married. I married her so she could start her dream and I'd get paid more. We agreed that if it didn't work out, we would divorce when she got her green card. It was risky. I could go to jail, and she could get deported and never be able to return. But, I fell in love with her and she me. This next August will be our 11-year anniversary and we have 2 kids. I can't imagine my life without her now. Sometimes the risk is worth it. Just plug your nose and jump. Edit. Okay, I've learned from you guys that the story about my Russian spy wife would make for a great movie and you're all crying. Thanks guys. I've literally read every comment and responded to a couple because you guys are rad. Also, Reddit Gold? WTF, go donate to a charity. Wow. This is like a modern fairy tale. I am genuinely happy for you, smile. To move to Ireland. Yeah, emigration is not for everyone, but it helped me build a life for myself. I'm imagining some 19th century Irish guy hearing this in disbelief. To Ireland, you say? Quitting smoking. I smoked for 9 years and quit 2.5 months ago. One of my favorite things I can do now is run. As a smoker I could never run for more than 2 minutes without dying, now I proudly have a 7-minute mile. I wish I could go back in time and undo all the damage smoking did to me, but all I can do is push forward from here and be glad I don't smoke. Screw cigarettes. Hell yeah. Keep it going. I smoked a pack a day for 8 years and a year, 1 month, 3 days clean. Best decision ever. All of us are in this together. Hey buddy, I'm going on about a week. I already feel way better. I still smoke a joint a day, but losing the pack a day is already making me feel like $1 million. Making me feel like $1 million. Y'all probably save about $1 million from quitting too. It only gets easier after the first week. Keep it up. Probably my decision to go talk to a therapist about my stress issues. My ex-girlfriend got hooked on heroin, so I broke it off. 1. I slipped a Narcan into her bag before she walked out the door. 2. Later that week, I heard she tried to purposely odd. Someone found the Narcan and brought her back. Apparently she turned her life around after that. Edit. We're together for almost 10 years. For things to have ended like that, it hurts so ducking bad. I heard she sobered up and recently got engaged. Glad I could do her one last solid. Have a nice life, ape. Going back to high school. I'm almost done, only 14 years late. Worth it. Me too. I'm 54 and I graduate this Wednesday night. I went back to continuation school and sat in a classroom. The tutors were my son's age. Class of 2018 rocks. Also in the class of 2018 here. Funny to think that you're 3x my age but we're still in the same year. Good for you, man. Don't know how it works. But I really wish I had someone older in my classes. Not afraid to ask questions. From thought-provoking, right down to the mundane basics. None of my classmates, even those in honors, would question anything. Too afraid of looking dumb. A 50-year-old in high school. Shvive it. They want to make sure they know the material. Way better than cowardly sitting in the back, too afraid to raise your hand. Yeah, I noticed that in college, how motivated and inquiring all the adults were. Duckin' nerds. I had a rule: don't flirt if there is no possibility of a relationship. My thinking was if this go badly you're just embarrassing yourself, and if things go well you're just setting up for disappointment. While at my college roommate's wedding I broke that rule to flirt with the maid of honor, even though she lived 3 time zones away. Yeah, we're married now. That sounds wonderful. If you don't mind me asking, how did you guys defeat the 3 time zones thing? He set his clock back 3 hours. He faxes his penis to her every night. 3D printing. Deprinting. Long ago and far away, after agreeing with my partner that it would be best for us to terminate her unexpected pregnancy, I changed my mind and chose not to. That night I lay awake, wrestling with our decision and its implications, projecting the what-ifs and the maybes into the future as far as I could. Finally, I realized 2 things with absolute certainty: that I loved my partner with all my heart and that the plan we'd set our minds to before going to bed would slowly erode our relationship until it was no more. In the morning, when she woke up, I kissed her gently, told her that I loved her deeply, wanted to have the baby, and asked her to marry me. Here, decades later, having raised and loved the beautiful daughter that was that baby, it was, and remains, the single best choice I've ever made in my entire life. Getting sober. Absolutely the best decision ever. Never knew life could be this good. Same here. 11 months for me today. Being patient and listening before I respond to issues. I'm almost 40. You kids out there should pay heed to this. Be patient. Take time to reflect, digest and process things. This applies in your personal and professional life. Don't react. Respond. Breaking up with the emotionally manipulative girlfriend. I think we're all in that situation with a partner at some point or other, and finally taking the step to get away from them and realize you don't need them is a big part of emotional maturity. Moving 2,000 miles away. By myself. I'm actively trying to do that, but 4,000 miles away from the east coast of Prague. I just got accepted into a 3-year school there, and it's both exciting and terrifying. I'm looking into living expenses, healthcare, part-time employment, etc. It's almost overwhelming, but it's something I need to do. Edit after 7 hours. Reddit is ducking amazing. This whole community is incredibly supportive and inspiring. I've had a particularly heavy day at work and saw some notifications here and there, but now that I'm getting a chance to read the replies and PMS, I'm in awe. Thanks Reddit. Romans being bros for sure. Hey, I was born in the Czech Republic and study in Prague, so if you have any questions about anything related to our system, feel free to hit me up. Stop stressing about school and grades so much. My whole life I've felt like it's been a swirl of ABT and GPA. When I realized I wanted something else after school, my entire outlook and motivation to exist changed. Late edit. I understand reasons that people have to stress about grades, such as a competitive major, graduate school or scholarships. I should have emphasized being disillusioned with a chosen major and the pressure of having to decide your life's career so young. So much this. I was usually bent on exceeding expectations and trying to hit the 4.0. Would be pissed with a 3.8. My brother would be happy with a 2.5. I didn't finish and had to get help. He's an accountant. C's get degrees. You know what they call the bottom of the medical school graduating class? Doctor. That's assuming you get into med school in the first place, and your chances are basically zero if you have a 2.5 GPA. The mantra should say, C's get bachelor's degrees. Well, I'm heading back to college in the fall to study something different. I just beat cancer and have been feeling bored with the work I do lately, so I want to study something else and make a change. It's exciting and I'm feeling really positive lately. Smile.